Welcome to the Dummy Plug Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to the Dummy Plug Podcast. I'm Gainer79. Tonight I'm being joined by General Iowa.
I agree to nothing.
Unit 2.
Hello.
And actually Asuka.
Hello.
So tonight on the podcast, we will be discussing Kaworu and Shinji and their relationship and just kind of cross-analyzing it a little bit.
And everybody who, I know you're out there and I know exactly what you're thinking, so stop thinking that right now. We're not doing that.
We're not doing that thing that you're thinking.
We're not. This is going to be a serious and analytical, discussion about this, not, no tropes, no stupidity, nothing like that.
This is not a shipping war. We're not here to talk about the validity of your ship. We're here to talk about the complexity of the relationship.
There will be
mostly because we actually have evidence and stuff like that from the various mediums about Kaworu and Shinji. So
what about my deviant art, you guys?
Donut steal. Original character donut steal.
I don't.
Anyway,
follow me at Red Tracksuit Guy.
No.
Oh, you know what? We should look up George the Hedgehog.
After the Texas is over.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, we'll. Yeah, that's a thing. But okay, so
all right.
Yeah, we're gonna discuss Kaworu and Shinji and the dynamics of their relationship with actual evidence from the different mediums. And thank goodness, Unit 2 and I are here because we've actually read the mangas.
Right.
Manga.
So
yeah,
but
yes. Before we do that,
before we get to that, we need to kind of just apologize to you guys for kind of disappearing for about a month or so.
Yeah, and we are sorry that we did so. We know we have our devoted, loyal fans.
We all had some stuff going on. Kamal and I were moving and getting settled back in Chicago, and then we had a convention that we went to that we did new costumes for, and it took up a lot of our time.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And you did amazing jobs on them, I would like to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and in the meantime, I was transitioning between jobs.
Getting a much better job.
Yes, so I've completed my training and will be, getting fully fledged into my new company. So, so once I get settled into my schedule a little bit, we'll be able to work out some more recording times and hopefully put out more content for you guys.
And also, I've restarted school for hopefully my last year, so I can be done with it and escape this non-civilization black hole known as the state of Iowa.
All right, so
you think I'm kidding on that one, folks? I'm not. I'm really not.
I know.
I dare you to.
I know you're
does not escape from Iowa.
Shut up, Kamal.
Yeah, you guys are literally the children of the corn out there.
Illinois, a best.
It really is. You guys.
Chicagoland.
Chicago a best.
I'm not even kidding. The moment I got into Illinois on my way to RamenCon, I found the first 7-Eleven I could and got myself a Slurpee.
Indiana shit.
Yeah, well, I'm unfortunately from Indiana, so...
And
Ohio shit, too.
I'm going to be working in Indiana, essentially.
Or is it still the Chicagoland area, though?
Yeah, technically. I mean, it's Hammond. So.
Close enough for government work.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so
yeah.
we deeply apologize for the lack of content, but we're getting things settled to where we can
We're back to our regular schedule now.
Yeah, because we know you guys love listening to us talk about Ava.
Yeah.
Who knows why, but
yeah, you guys like hearing our voices and for what it's worth, what we're talking about. So
yeah,
that's the thing. Anyway,
and there's also something else I'd like to note, which is it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
What?
But so. I'm a wrestling fan, probably too much of a wrestling fan for my own good.
You don't say.
Yeah, I know. And so recently, female Japanese legend. Oh no, I hear the.
No, I know what you're about to talk about, and I feel the exact same way.
Thank God. So Kana got signed by the WWE,
NXT,
and
yeah.
they rebranded her with a new name, and her new name is Asuka.
Are you shitting me?
No, I'm completely dead serious, and it gets better. So, my friend James Matthews, who is probably one of the smartest people I know when it comes to the wrestling business, gave me the scoop about why she has the name Asuka.
Okay.
It's based off Asuka from Ava. Like,
Good ass shit.
Ryan Ward, as well as much of NXT, are apparently like giant anime marks. So, yeah.
Do you want to know something that's related to that and any wrestling fans that we're friends with that are listening to this?
Do know.
I told Kamal this today because I found out literally in the car with my mom today. I am apparently related to the guy that manages The Undertaker.
No shit?
Wait,
Wait.
which one?
Scott Everhart is my mom's cousin.
Wait, Scott Everhart.
He's The Undertaker's business partner.
Oh, business
Oh,
partner.
shit.
I was going to say, there was a...
Oh, like actual manager, not like on-screen
No,
manager.
not like his Heyman, but like his
Oh.
actually like handles his
man.
business.
Okay,
Oh,
that's different.
really cool.
Yeah, that's a lot different. I was going to be like, shit.
Yeah, and so Undertaker going to make a lot less money because he's fighting at Hell in a Cell and not WrestleMania.
Oh, well.
Well, yeah, but that's a different. That's pretty cool. Not gonna lie, that's pretty cool. Like when you said manager, I was like,
Paul
so you're
Bearer?
related to Paul Bearer or Brother Love? What?
That's what I thought. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
my mom just like casually dropped that on me in the car today, and I turned to her and she was like, "Yeah, and your cousin's got to go backstage at like a thing recently with him," and I was like, "Okay, I need you to listen very carefully."
He got to go backstage at SummerSlam?
Yeah, and I was like, "Listen very carefully to me. I need you to put me in contact with this person immediately."
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah,
Yes.
because, dude.
Yeah, like, yes, and more of my yes. That's pretty awesome,
Yes.
Lucky.
So yeah, wrestling is the tits. I love it.
Yeah. So we have our own Asuka prowling around in NXT, which I think is absolutely amazing.
She's real scary too.
Will she be wrestling in a plug suit?
No.
Damn.
No, she will be wrestling in, I would assume would be, like, close to what she wrestled in Japan.
Okay.
She wore kabuki makeup sometimes. It was really cool.
Yeah, she's worn kabuki makeup. She's had kabuki masks.
She's also trained by one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
I was gonna say, she's pretty, like, in terms of, like, wrestling, she is absolutely fucking amazing. Like,
yeah,
I can quote so many different people on that one. It's not even funny. And I've watched some of her stuff. Like, okay, I'm not even going to lie. If anybody who listens to this is a wrestling fan too, what you have seen in women's wrestling for the WWE has gotten better. Wait until Asuka gets to the main roster. You are going to know what, like, amazing female wrestling is. It's like watching a fucking man wrestle. It'll be absolutely epic.
I want her to come up to the actual WWE and like team up with Paige now that Paige is a heel. I want it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because Paige had that amazingly awesome promo.
I was so scared, Chad. If you're listening, Chad messaged me and he was like, "Wow, holy shit, Paige, full heel turn." And I was like, "No, my child." And then I was sent the clip of what she said, and I was like, "You right.
Oh my God.
You got a
the
good
truth
point.
has been spoken.
Yeah, everything she said is absolutely correct. Like,
oh, my sister, testify.
Yeah, it's like
Chad got so mad when I said that she had a point calling Charlotte or not Charlotte, Becky irrelevant, and I was like,
oh yeah,
she got a point.
Like,
I'm allergic to steampunk. Okay, so podcast.
Okay, now that we
sorry,
have that,
we really like wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, hold on. Last thing about that whole wrestling thing. And I have to, because like just to give props to Kana Asuka, she was trained by Yoshihiro Tajiri, who is like one of my favorite all-time wrestlers for like given his size and how brutal he is, and because of how good she is, she got to a point in Japan wrestling where she actually said to her promoter, which was Tajiri, "I don't want to wrestle the women anymore. I want to wrestle the men," and she was kicking their ass.
Yeah, to be fair, she's probably better than 75% of the male wrestlers that are in Japan right now. And I'm not going to lie, she's probably better than 75% of the male wrestlers that are in Canada, the United States, and Mexico.
Well, either way, I mean,
I can't wait for her to get to the main roster because it'll be amazing. And
that's the phrase I was looking for earlier, main roster.
yes.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for her to start in NXT just to see how, like, just so she can show how good she is, and then
Japanese wrestling is so crazy too. Like it's so different from American wrestling. Like they had to reteach her how to wrestle in the U.S. because she was just like wrecking the people she.
Yeah,
I saw her audition video, like, or whatever you call it. It's not. I'm not sure it was an audition or just like. Just
her highlights.
Not even a highlight. It was something like where she was wrestling. What the hell's her name? Sarah Del Rey, I think is her name.
Wait, hold on. There's a Kana versus Sarah Del Rey match, and I haven't seen this.
Okay, we're going to start a WWE podcast so you all can listen to us talk about wrestling. But for now, let's talk about the piano games.
It's not a full-fledged match, as in it happened on.
Don't care. We gotta find this. Anyways, yes, let's. Okay, so
anyway, the Kaworu Shinji quandrum that it is.
Yeah, Kaworu and Shinji. So again, as we stated, this is not about shipping. It's
not about whether we think the ship is cute or not. It's about the intricacies of the established relationship between the two of them.
Yeah, because we are given concrete relationships between these two characters in a variety of fashions between the mediums. And okay, we're only going to discuss the ones where it's basically where tropes do not get involved. So, Shinji Ikari, like the Detective Agency and Raising Project and stuff like that.
So, like, we're talking basically about original series and rebuilds and manga.
Yeah, everything else where they just basically fall into trope mode. Yeah, no, that's not going to get used because that is just.
Like Raising Project, even though it's based on canon, it doesn't really apply to this situation anyway. So
correct, because it just falls into the same tired tropes and situations that like basically the fans like to do with the two of them, and that's not what we're dealing with here.
Right. So yeah, like I have my own thoughts on this. I know Asuka, you have your thoughts on how this works. So. Iowa, you and I had talked about this before, and which is how we got to this, Kamal.
And Kamal may or may not have an opinion. Who knows? Maybe.
I hope
maybe.
I hope Kamal does. I want Kamal's opinion.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Kamal's going to have.
Oh hell yeah! My mom just Facebook messaged me. We're getting Taco Bell. Yeah.
Ew.
What?
Come on, you know what? You know how I feel about Taco Bell.
I know you do.
At least they have beer now.
Oh, yay.
Could you have picked a worse thing?
That's a genius idea. That's a genius idea. Let's mix bad Mexican food with alcohol.
Iowa, I can't believe you just complained about Taco Bell and then said ay. Like, if
I know.
you had spelled ay caramba, it would have been worse. Oh.
What, would you prefer I be Bumblebee Man from The Simpsons?
Ay.
Ay, no es mías, no!
I love the Bumblebee guy.
No es bueno!
I love him.
Well, that broke that train of thought. Anyways.
So
what we were saying before,
well,
we talk about this all the time. Yeah, Iowa and I read the manga, so...
Yeah, we've read the manga, so we know... So, the way the original manga approaches this is completely different from how...
Could you please not non-reading the manga shame? I'm not appreciating this anime shaming that's going on.
I know, right?
I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to, I swear. Like, I'm
teasing.
But the manga one is
just, I wish, like, more
manga
people would just Yeah, I really wish more people would read the manga because I think it would really, I think more people would enjoy it if they read it, but it's just, no, I don't meet that many fans that have. It kind of baffles me.
Well, people are more visual than, anything.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, they want it's the stupidest thing I ever heard, and I think I heard it on, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Why read books? TV is faster.
Not at the rate of speed I read.
Well, yeah, but, you get the idea.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so
All right. So, do you want me to...
How do we want to begin analyzing this? Is the big question.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't mind, doing my whole info dump, splurge thing like I did with you before.
Yeah. I mean, just choose your words carefully about how you describe it. Is all I'm going to say.
I'll do what I can here, but I'm not going to pull. Okay. I will not pull any. I am not pulling punches.
Well, it's. Don't use the B word, okay? Like
what?
That's just.
I don't even know what the B word is.
I'll type it to you.
What's the B word? Oh my God. Is it butts?
No.
Just one butt?
Butt?
God damn it.
Lesbians?
Butter.
You're lesbian? Lesbian?
Did you? I don't.
Yeah, don't say that.
Oh, it's.
No, just don't. Okay.
I can't promise that.
You can phrase it so much better.
I could, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen.
God
damn it.
So confused. Wait, why?
Because
that's a good word.
It's whatever. Anyway, so let's.
Boner. Wait, didn't he just resign from the house today?
That was.
Oh yeah, no, I call him.
That's
Boner.
my sick joke. That was my sick joke about. It's Boehner, but it looks like Boner. He's lying. It's pronounced Boner.
Yeah, he was touched by the Pope, and then he kind of left.
Did you see my tweet?
Hey now. Hey now.
Let me read you what I tweeted earlier. It was really good. It was like, so Boehner resigned after having a moment after being touched by the Pope. Maybe the Pope should touch every politician ever.
Did you hear about the one guy who stole the Pope's cup and made his whole family drink from it?
I would do that.
Dude.
I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that.
It's the Pope's pimp chalice? Are you kidding me?
No,
Did you just call the Papa a pimp? Kamal, do not interject with what I called him the other day, please, and thank you.
It was Daddy.
It was not Daddy. It was an accident. Oh
I was gonna say somebody made the joke earlier.
I called him. I was saying El Papa, and then we were saying Papam, how you say it in Latin, and then I said Papa, and then I said Father, which is still accurate, and then I said Daddy, and I was like, wait, no. No, I called Pope Francis Daddy. Oh God.
I guess it's better than calling him potato by accident in Spanish.
Papa.
Papa. I am not a potato. How dare you?
If he was I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not gonna make it.
No,
I'm not making the.
He's the type of Pope where he would probably turn it into an amazing lesson about how we're all potatoes, and it's a cool metaphor for being poor, but also being able to sustain something great. Just gray for Pope.
Onions have layers.
Gray for Pope. I think I would make a pretty good Pope.
There's an obvious Attack on Titan joke here, and I'm not making it.
Sasha Browse for Pope.
I'm more okay with Oscar for Pope. Can I vote for this?
Me or the character?
You!
Oh, Gray for Pope.
Yeah, you for Pope.
I would make a good Pope.
No joke. My next, if and when I get to make an anime figure purchase, I think my next one's going to be Sasha. If I can.
Sasha's the bomb. There's a really good. I think there's a really good Figma of Sasha.
If I find one, I am getting one because Sasha is my.
We
now know that Gaynor will never find that at an anime convention.
Because he's decided he wants it, so it's...
Yeah, pretty much. If he wants it, not happening.
I don't even know... That's the thing, I don't even think it exists.
Okay, so where do we want to start with the
how do we want to start with Kaworu and Shinji?
We really don't want to talk about this, do we?
No, I want to talk about this.
I don't know where we want to start.
Starting is the hard part, because...
Since I've got the most complete thought on this, let me take care of this, if you don't mind.
Oh, dear.
Is that cool?
Well, I guess.
Well, considering I had... Remember, I was the one who came up with the idea anyway?
What? Sorry?
Maybe?
Yeah. Well, yeah, true.
Sorry, I forget. Okay, so... I keep forgetting you guys aren't in the same room with me. You can't see me doing hand gestures. Anyway.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Just choose your words carefully when you're talking about this.
All right. Okay. Anyway, so this is just me, my personal thoughts on this. I feel that Kaworu and Shinji's relationship is based more on Shinji's feelings than anything else. I don't think Kaworu did anything wrong in this relationship. Basically, Kaworu, who has no prior exposure to emotions and doesn't really understand what human emotion is to anyway. If he doesn't understand these things, how could he ever have those types of feelings for Shinji? Shinji, on the other hand, because he's human, because he's exploring his feelings, he's experienced these with Rei, he's experienced these with Asuka, is projecting those feelings onto Kaworu, not fully understanding what they are. And instead of talking to Kaworu about them and trying to understand them with him, he forces them upon him, forces this, this bond.
Who, Shinji does or Kaworu does?
Shinji does. Shinji forces this bond between the two of them because Shinji needs the attention, Shinji needs the love, Shinji needs, he needs Kaworu. Kaworu just simply exists and takes everything from Shinji. Now, whether or not he understands what Shinji is doing to him is, not exactly relevant here. It's more the idea that Shinji has pushed everything that he wants onto Kaworu. And the reason I feel that he does this is because he sees Kaworu as an ideal. He feels that Kaworu is the ideal person that he, Shinji, would like to be. He feels that Kaworu is a caring, nurturing person who praises him, gives him attention, tells him the things that he wants to hear. And now the reason I always felt that Kaworu does this at all is because of who I believe Kaworu may actually be. And this goes back to a theory we had about the different timeline theories and the restarting of the universe theories. Now, and stay with me on this a little bit, it's going to get a little complicated. I had previously, toyed around with the idea that Kaworu in original series and rebuild and any iteration is actually Shinji from the previous universe, a previous universe. And how that actually happens is when Shinji goes through the process of the third impact and recreates the world, he, instead of becoming Shinji again, he decides, I don't want to be myself, I want to be this ideal person. And in becoming this ideal person, he becomes Kaworu. And then what happens is, by becoming this perfect being that is Kaworu, at least in the way that universe Shinji saw, then he becomes a perfect being, and because he's this perfect being, he can be perfect in the eyes of the next universe's Shinji. And we've already discussed how Kaworu may be the Shinji from a previous universe, and there's the evidence is in Rebuild where he looks at Gendo and Fuyutsuki on the moon base thing and says, hey, it's fine, nice to meet you, father, and all that, and there's that whole cryptic stuff with him in Rebuild. Now that doesn't present itself in the original series at all, but it's the possibility exists, and especially if we find out with Rebuild eventually that Rebuild connects to the original series in some way, or what we might think might happen is reboot the original series, which would be an interesting take to do with Rebuild. But again, back to the bigger point here is if Kaworu is a Shinji from a previous universe, he is an idealized Shinji. He is the being that Shinji wishes he could be. And when the Shinji of the new universe meets Kaworu, he is essentially meeting himself, but an idealized version of himself that he wishes to become. And so it's a repeating cycle of Shinji meeting a perfect being, becoming this perfect being, and starting the process over.
So I have a complicated theory, too.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
Stay with me.
Okay.
They're gay. The end.
Really?
Air horn.
Wait,
hold on.
Like, wait, what? What?
Now, hold on. I wholeheartedly disagree with you on this, Asuka. Wholeheartedly.
Okay, explain.
Okay.
I feel like I'm a computer.
And here's the thing. For Kaworu and Shinji to be in a homosexual relationship, one, Kaworu would have to have a gender, which we both know he does not. We use he as just a placeholder pronoun here. So Kaworu is essentially a genderless angel. We know this. Shinji, we don't know. We don't know if he's gay, if he's bi, if he, pan, whatever. But I don't feel it is a homosexual relationship in any way other than, any feelings that Shinji pushes towards Kaworu. Whether or not Kaworu accepts those feelings for what they are, or even understands them, is, up to debate.
Oh. Wait, I know what kind of relationship this is, based off what you're saying.
Okay.
Actually, wait a minute. Have any of you ever watched Azumanga?
Yes, I have.
Okay, you know how Kaoru is towards Sakaki?
Yes.
Kind of like that?
You mean
where it's like
they're like the idol worship type thing?
Where it's like they like that particular person.
Oh, so it's like more of a person sexuality than a...
Yeah, it's like Shinji likes Kaoru, not
all guys.
Males. No, not, yeah, exactly. Like, he doesn't like males, he just likes Kaoru.
You see,
I mean, Shinji has a he's canonically attracted to identified female people and identified male people.
Yeah, I mean, because there's that whole thing with Kaji, and you can almost see in Shinji's face that he's at least thinking about it.
No, I meant Kaoru.
Kaoru. Yeah, they meant Kaoru, not.
Well,
Kaoru.
No, I'm saying because, again, I don't feel that Kaworu has the capacity for it in any way.
Kaoru's the one. Okay.
No. Go ahead. No. Like, go ahead.
Kaoru's the one that makes every pseudo-sexual and romantic approach on Shinji.
But yeah, I have to go with.
And
Asuka.
if you believe in the Looper theory, then he absolutely has at least some concept of human attraction because he's done it before.
You see,
but
I
think you've got it backwards, and Kaoru's playing Shinji like a deck of cards.
Whoa, hold up. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Give me a minute here. If we're going by the Looper theory and Kaworu is this ideal being in the eyes of the previous universe as Shinji, then basically what Shinji has done is eliminated his need for emotion. He doesn't have emotion. He just knows what things are. He knows what the right words to be said are.
That's what I'm saying.
But that doesn't just because he knows the correct words to say doesn't mean he actually feels them.
Why are you so opposed to the idea of there being gay characters in the show?
I'm not opposed to there being gay characters. Don't get me wrong.
No, not when it's Asuka and Mari. But why are you opposed to the idea of being gay?
Hold up. Let's put the brakes on that. We're going to put the brakes on this right now. I am not saying that a homosexual relationship, be it man-man, girl-girl, whatever, I don't feel that it's wrong in any sense here. However, I don't feel that it's Kaworu that's instigating this. All right?
It literally is, though.
Literally
is.
But how,
I think it's a weird distinction. I mean, I agree with you that Shinji is sort of projecting all of his feelings onto Kaworu, but it's because Kaworu's letting him.
But isn't Kaworu's mission, like, I hate to say it, isn't Kaworu's mission in the original series to get close to Shinji?
Right.
Like, that's what I always took away from it.
Right, yeah. Kaworu was meant to get close to Shinji, to build a trust with Shinji, and basically to infiltrate NERV and execute Sally's plan.
So, I think perhaps what you're saying, let's use the original series as like the start of the loops, because I think that actually would make this work better.
Mm-hmm.
So the original series, Shinji projects everything upon Kaoru, and he's like doesn't know what he's doing. But if we're gonna loop it, and Shinji becomes Kaoru, then it turns into Kaoru is doing everything because he knows what he needs to do.
Well, here's the thing: Kaworu knows what to say. He knows what Shinji wants to hear.
Okay.
That doesn't necessarily mean that he feels that way.
Does it matter?
Yes, it does matter, because if
I feel like that does
words are just words. If there's no feeling behind them, then that's all they are.
I think you're putting too much emphasis on the idea of a relationship as some sort of
the relationship.
Like, I think you're focusing too much on the idea of them having a relationship.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
A romantic relationship, where I think the focus that we're trying to talk about is just in general their interactions between each other.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is there's always been this question of what type of relationship do they have, where I feel that Kaworu is more, pushing towards a platonic relationship, but Shinji is going too far with it and trying to force a romantic relationship when that actually isn't there.
Okay, well, also I have another question then. So, given that Kaworu is an angel, and as Asuka in their panels before has stated that their angel name is Tabris and they are the angel of free will, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
which means it makes a lot of sense that Kaworu would let Shinji make all of the advances because he's the angel of free will. Like to make Shinji make a choice on his own would be to rob Shinji of a little bit of his free will. So
yeah, so Shinji
also, if his job was to get close to Shinji, and that's why he was sent by Seele, then how do you get close to an emotionally broken child that is longing for affection in any possible way?
Give him affection.
Give him affection.
Give him affection.
Give him the affection, or in the case of Kaworu, tell him what he wants to hear. But
the thing is that Kaworu in the original series also wants to be close to Shinji, so I cannot believe fully that there's no meaning behind what he says. I don't know if the meaning is what... I don't know if the meaning that Kaworu gives it is the same as what Shinji gives it, but I do think that in some way Kaworu is, like, pushing towards it in his own way. And whether or not that is the same way as a normal human would do, that is a completely different question, because he is an angel. How he's going to view things is completely different. And to be fair, how Shinji and Rei's interactions is in part the same, but it's a little different because Rei has been around people and understands humans on a better degree than Kaworu does, but at her core, Rei is still an angel, and the same framework for the relationship between her and Shinji is there with Kaworu and Shinji. It's just who's making the advances is different, in my opinion. Shinji wants to make them more towards Rei, and with Kaworu wants to make them more with Shinji.
Shinji makes, I mean, not even sexual, but Shinji makes attempts at human interaction, human affection with every girl in the series. Like, that's one of the important distinctions with the Kaworu thing, is that all of the female-identified people that he talks to, he is in some way, either consciously or subconsciously, not quite attracted to, but it seems like seeking attention or affirmation from, which makes sense because he's missing his mother. He grew up without a mother. Mm-hmm. So Eva never really gets... I mean, it is clear that Shinji has really bad, I don't want to say mommy issues because it sounds like I'm like, oh, Shinji has mommy issues. But he has issues centered around the lack of a mother. And they never get into the fact that, well, Shinji grew up without a father, too. They never really get into the fact that he is 100% lacking in a fatherly affection, too. And I think that after an entire series, basically, of, trying to make connections with women and getting increasingly frustrated because Rei doesn't reject him, Rei just doesn't get it, literally does not understand.
Yeah.
Asuka is just as confused and messed up as he is, so she has no idea how to react to him. Misato is grown, is not possible. He's getting more and more frustrated, and then along comes this option that he hadn't considered, and oh holy wow, without me even being anything more than, conversationally polite to this person, they're saying that they were born to meet me, and they think they love me, and wow, this is so much affection, and sure, I'm going to respond positively because I've been seeking a positive, affectionate relationship from all of these people and haven't gotten it, so maybe this is where I need to be looking for it, and, yeah.
Well, hold on. Now, I'm not saying that... What I'm trying to say here is, if by Kaworu telling Shinji he loves him, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a romantic love. Platonic love exists.
Oh my god.
Okay.
They're functionally indistinct.
Yeah,
they're functionally indistinct.
I think with Shinji, I don't think we can make that. I don't think we can make a
because
distinction.
It's never carried that far.
Yeah. Also,
right. I'm not. Listen, I know. I understand that the idea of a romantic relationship is never carried to fruition between these two, but I feel that Shinji takes it beyond the platonic level and starts to get romantic with it, whereas Kaworu simply is platonic.
Cite it. Sources. Cite. I think
you're
cited
too
a bunch
focused.
of stuff.
Well, also, can we even consider what Shinji is trying to do? Like, it's not the classic definition of romantic. I mean, let's be honest, shall we?
Shinji has no idea how to interact romantically with another person. He can't even interact on a base level with other people normally.
Yeah,
but he's also a hormonal...
Normal's a shitty word.
He's a hormonal teenager from an abnormal upbringing.
So there you go. Like,
so he doesn't.
Let's avoid implying that non-heterosexualities come from broken homes and bad upbringings,
whoa.
Yeah, that was. Can we?
I'm not implying that at all.
No, I know. I'm saying it sounded like that's where the conversation was starting to go, and I was like,
that's not where I'm going with this.
Shinji's life has been basically like one giant lack of interaction and attention ever since his mother got absorbed by the Eva. Spoiler alert! And he went to go.
I was about to be like, "Are you going to spoiler that?"
Yeah, I do that anyways, just in case. But so his mother gets absorbed by the Ava. He's abandoned by his father, and he goes to live with his uncle. And he's still basically in isolation.
Is that where he is? I'm sorry, I don't mean to derail, but I just realized I have no idea where he was the whole time before.
Yeah, he's been living with his uncle.
With his uncle. Is that in the manga, or did I miss that?
Yeah, that's in the manga.
Okay, cool. All right, I need to read the manga.
Yeah, actually,
it actually gets explored in the series too, I believe.
It's mentioned in passing, but it gets explained and delved into way better in the manga as we go along.
Right.
But yeah, so he's basically with his uncle for 10 years.
Right.
Yeah, and then he gets put into this situation where he has all this attention upon himself, and he doesn't know how to handle it. And when these new situations come up, he doesn't understand how to handle them. And here's the other thing. It would be one thing if Kaworu was to show up earlier when Shinji's kind of still in an okay sense of mind for given the circumstances, and he has constant contact with people. The problem is that with the original series, when Kaworu shows up, everybody has fucking booked it out of Tokyo 3. Anyone he knows and cares about, with the exception of Rei, Asuka, and Misato, is fuckity bye, and they've left the city because of all the attacks and all the damage. So now I hate to say this, the void in him is bigger than it was before, because before he really didn't have a need to want to, have people in his life like that. Now that he has been exposed to people in his life and he had friends, and now that they're gone, that void is just so massive that Kaworu comes at exactly the perfect time, in a sense, for Shinji to not only not know how to deal with it, but to project upon him what he wants. And I think what Kaworu is to Shinji in a way is the same way that Rei is, and we need to. I'm going to source End of Eva, because as we're getting towards Shinji going to come back from what he has experienced, there's the scene on the bridge with all the nameless, faceless people that are moving, but Kaworu and Rei are the only two people that are standing there, and they say that, oh crap, what do they say? But it basically amounts to that they will be the voices in his heart, and that they will be the support in his life. Basically the mother and the father that he has not had in his life.
Okay.
I know, I ramble. I do that.
No, that's fine.
Do you want to talk about the manga?
Yeah, we might want to do that at some point, because that takes a completely different spin on this entire thing.
Well, I had one more quick point I wanted to make, and it was something that I just kind of picked up on as you guys were talking about this, and it's one of the key things that Kaworu says to Shinji, and what is said is, "I was really born to meet you." If the Looper theory is what I think it is, and Kaworu is who I think he is, he literally is born to meet Shinji, because he's literally there to provide this ideal version of a person, for Shinji.
But that also means that I think that they would have to put that in his head, that, they'd have to put things into his head for him to reciprocate, or be the one that initiates, in a way. Because it honestly, with Rebuild, it honestly sounds like Kaworu is the one who initiates. Like, there is just no getting past that.
Well,
like,
rebuild, yes. Well, rebuild,
yeah,
but again, that's rebuild. Excuse me. Original series, if the theory is still intact here, Kaworu is literally born to meet Shinji at a specific time, in a specific place, during a specific situation.
Well, I mean, you can even say that without that theory, because he's a test tube person, like Ray is.
Yep.
Like, he was taken out of the tube to go down to Earth and interact with Shinji.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Did they mention that in original series, or is that manga only?
I'm pretty sure there's a shot of him in a tube.
There's a shot of him in a tube in the original series.
But how valid is that?
I would say very.
Are we talking dream sequence? Or are we talking?
No, this is like real. This is like reality. Like there's no dreams.
Wasn't it? What's his name? Cyclops.
Keel.
Yeah, Keel. Like
Cyclops.
The tube. Or was it Gendo?
No, it would have to be Keel. It would have to been Keel.
Yeah, but it's standing in front of the tube.
Yeah,
Kaworu's in it.
Yeah, Kaworu's in it.
Mm.
Yeah, and the thing is that
but the consciousness that is Kaworu, that still could be previous universe Shinji. Remember, previous universe Shinji creates new universe.
I know, but the problem is that I think that only applies to rebuild. Original series, I think, is like the first try.
See, I don't feel the original series is first try.
So where's the original starting point then?
That's the thing. We're not really certain.
Oh, great.
There's no way to tell. Just because of how Eva works, there's no way to tell. This could be the second, the third, the 50th universe in original.
I like my theory more for how Eva, the different universes work, because I actually feel like that you don't need to assign different tries to how I do it. It's just they're all their own different things, so you don't need to do it, and there's no specific order for them.
I don't know.
I kind of like Ava as a story that repeats, and
right.
it's sort of a cycle that different loops in a cycle have different branches.
But I feel that it all connects in some way. But everything's going to happen at certain points in time. It's just a matter of how each universe, changes those points in time. And I think that's a little bit of what Rebuild, amounts to. We already know it's a new telling of this story. The question is it a new universe that was created? And that's. That's why everything's so different in Rebuild as opposed to original series. But that's why I also can say that original series might not be the first time this has all happened. We don't know, though.
Yeah.
We may never know.
Oh, we're never going to know. Okay, I'm just going to say that right now. With the way Anno does storytelling, we are never going to fucking know that one. I'll tell you that right now.
But, and at the same time, and honestly, the best example I can cite for this type of situation is Madoka Magica. Because in Madoka Magica, the series,
if you are about to tell me that Madoka and Homura are not gay, I'm leaving. Look,
I don't even know. I don't even know where you're going with this right now.
Hold on.
Are you talking about you don't know how many times Homura has...
Homura herself states that this isn't the first time that they've done this whole thing.
Okay.
She has time jumped numerous times in attempts to fix this, and she herself says that.
Are we sure it's even time jumping, or is it dimension jumping?
No, it's full on time.
Yeah, she goes back in time.
And effectively creates other, the reason that Madoka ends up grossly OP at the end is because in going back, Homura created different timelines.
Okay.
Right. Now,
so a bunch of these alternate universes hinge upon each other.
And that's what I'm saying here is that within the context of Evangelion, it could just be like that. All these separate universes rebuild, and whatever other universes we don't even know about, all exist because of something that has happened, where this universe has, gone through its time cycle, started over and connects to and starts over again.
So everything hit. So these different universes in Eva hinge upon each other for some reason.
Essentially, what they hinge upon is third impact.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be something we would know.
Right. But because of that, we don't know when third impact might have originally occurred. We don't even know if it's because of third impact. Let's get that straightened out of the way.
Well, I would hope that third impact happened after second impact. Otherwise, I think we may have a problem with.
Well, here's the thing.
Order of impact is right out.
Well, hold on. Get with me on this. We've already we know there was a first impact. We know there's a second impact. We know there's a third impact.
Yes.
Those are all things that have to happen within any Evangelion universe. But the question is, when does the new universe begin?
I don't remember, and you might be able to back me up on this one, Kamal. Did you read Angelic Days?
No.
I did.
Okay. I don't remember third impact happening in Angelic Days.
That's because, actually you're right. It does not occur in Angelic Days.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think there are these fixed points in each timeline, but I think we're sort of getting away from.
Well, yeah,
but
Angelic Days again is not canon to the original story. Let's get that.
No, but it does an interesting take on Kaworu as a character because he's actually around when Gendo is growing up, and then he seems to just disappear from Gendo's memory somehow, and he does the same thing with Shinji. Like, he helps to grow Shinji as a person, and then just seems to slip away from his memory.
Now, if you want, but now I think I know what you're getting at here, and that only lends to my idea that Kaworu is the idealized, omnipotent Shinji who can exist at any point in time he wishes.
See, I don't think that's true with Angelic Days, though. I think Kaworu is. I don't think that Kaworu is Shinji in that one. I think he is just Kaworu. And he comes at the right time, and he doesn't do what he does in any other one, where he doesn't, it's no tropes, it's no, love or anything like that. It's just purely friendship and support, and it helps Shinji because that's the one where Shinji is married to Asuka in the future. Like, they're adults and they're married, and you see Shinji trying to remember Kaworu because they have the picture of all of them that they took before, they all scattered from Tokyo 3, and Kaworu's first of all, how someone disappears from a photograph like that? I don't know. Well, that's just witchcraft or something.
That's Marty McFly.
Yeah, exactly. But it pains Shinji because he feels like part of him is gone, and I feel like that if Kaworu were to come at a different point when Shinji was more together, I feel like the whole situation between the two of them would change. It would just be friendship. Nothing more, nothing less.
I feel like we're doing a lot of logical gymnastics to avoid addressing this in the context in which it exists. We're doing a lot of gymnastics with stuff that doesn't, a lot of implied, do you get what I mean? We're doing a lot of, what if Kaworu is Shinji, and what if Kaworu does this? Within the concrete context of the show and what we are shown in the show and the movies and the rebuild, it's pretty cut and dry. We're addressing all of the wrong stuff. We're not talking about the actual cool intricacies of the relationship. We're talking about trying to make it as straight as possible, which is the opposite of what I wanted to do in this conversation, because whatever. I'm not being understood. I don't understand. I'm not making myself clear.
Well, no. Then, so what are they then? Are they just?
I don't think it's fair to discuss the sexuality of it, because I think one of the points of Eva is that none of them have a healthy sense of self or sexuality, and I think that Asuka is the primary demonstration of. They all have problems relating to other people in certain ways. Rei literally cannot relate to people, even though she thinks she is a people, and she's not. It's part of her character is her figuring out how to relate to people, because she's having such a hard time. Asuka's big thing is trying to figure out how to relate to her peers in terms of often sexual attraction, and, crushes, and do I like this person, and I'm, with the whole Kaji thing, and she she wants to be recognized as an adult, and she wants to do that primarily through sex. I mean, and not the act of sex, but like being recognized as like a woman, and to Asuka, to be a woman means to be sexual and whatever.
Yeah.
And then I think Shinji's is a demonstration of what happens when you misplace affection, like when you fall in love with the idea of someone, because that's all Kaworu really is. He's just a mirror for Shinji's wants and Shinji's desires. He goes along with whatever Shinji wants because, I mean, he's the angel of free will. He exists to be kind of a sounding board for what Shinji wants. And he's not going along with it because he wants to trick him. He's going along with it because that's what he is, and that's what he does. And I feel like it's important to recognize each of those in their context because, like, it's not as simple as saying, like, oh, well, Asuka's straight because she's only ever interested in dudes canonically in the show, and Shinji is bi because he's interested in both, because those things don't matter, because we're not talking about actual sexuality that's carried through. We're talking about how the messed up stuff that adults did and how the messed up stuff that people do to each other affected these people in the long run, and here's how it ended up playing out in their interpersonal relationships. We see it with Kaji and Misato, too, where their messed up idea of a relationship ended badly, and it ended up making them incapable of relating to each other in a way that isn't confusing and pseudo-sexual. Like, they can't relate to each other non-sexually without being angry. Or Ritsuko, who had a poor relationship with her mother and ended up alone. Like, it's all... The thing I wanted to discuss.
Hey, she's not alone, she's got cats.
Well, and to be fair, Kaji and Misato's relationship is a little bit tweaked in the manga too.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
Because and we recorded episode 7, so we kind of went over this. Kaji basically says that he broke it off with Misato because he feels that him trading his brother's and his friend's life for his own means that he doesn't deserve to be happy, and he feels that Katsuragi is the same because, in a way, she traded her father's life for her own, and that neither of them can get over that and just be happy with each other. Like, Kaji admits it, like, oh yeah, you were the greatest thing to happen to me in my life. Like, that was a life that I never had in my life before or since, but I just cannot accept that I can be happy and have this because of my past and what I've done. But on a fundamental level, you are completely correct. You really are.
Do we want to talk about Kaworu in the manga?
Yeah, we might want to do that really quickly.
So, in the manga, it's very clear that he's a test tube child like Rei is.
Yep.
And then he comes out, and he's essentially exactly like Rei. He has no concept of interpersonal relationships, of proper conduct. Sorry?
Would you say that he is a robot?
Yeah.
Would you say that he is a robot of some kind?
We've been doing this robot voice for the last 3 days.
Beep, 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 beep. I am a robot. Beep, 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 beep.
Kaworu wants to order a cheese pizza.
I almost kind of want us to
All right, read. I'm muting so you can talk about
No. I kind of want you to like read a volume of the manga and just do Kaworu's lines like that.
Kamal does it better.
Really? I want to hear this.
Can you say cheese?
I'm not going to do the Game Grumps joke. I'll say something else.
God damn it!
Can you say what are you, stupid?
What are you, stupid?
Are you
oh, that's awesome.
All right.
But yeah, Kaworu strangles a kitten.
Oh God, that is so just so.
He doesn't even strangle it, doesn't he? Like break its neck?
Yeah, he breaks its neck. And he breaks its neck, and the problem is that you think that's terrible, and then he explains why he did it. It's like, well, crap. It's like, not the worst logic in the world.
It's purely logical, but dude,
it's still horrible because we have a different sense of, things than he does. He's looking at it in a purely logical and analytic. Oh my God, Kaworu is Spock.
I don't think Spock would kill a kitten.
Well, I know, but he works off logic and analytics more than he works off of emotion.
But in that regard, it sort of goes back to what we were saying with Kaworu being a sounding board. Like,
true.
He's not, like, in the case of the manga, he's not doing it maliciously. Like,
no,
he doesn't have an agenda.
Understand.
It's just, it's what he knows.
Yeah, like when Asuka's having her spiel about it was her period, right, in the manga?
I'm not sure what part you're referring to.
When she's in the bathroom complaining about having periods.
Yeah. Oh man, I loved how you just stumbled up to saying the phrase "having periods." That was really good.
Well, because Kaworu just kind of walks in and goes hi.
Having her period.
Yeah.
Period. It's a menstrual period. It's a thing.
Okay. But yeah, she's basically lamenting that she has them, and then Kaworu just walks into the women's bathroom. It's like, hi. Because he doesn't know any better. Like, how is he supposed to know that, those who are female go there and those who are male? He doesn't understand these things because he is, Rei, just the Sele version of Rei. Come on, you're going to explain this. You're doing it better anyways.
What? No, I was pretty much done. Like, I was just talking about... Yeah. Also in the manga, Shinji straight up says that he loved him.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
That was written down.
Yeah, that was written, and what point was that? 11, 12?
It was like the first page after he kills him.
Yeah. So that's pretty A, that's late in the manga. B, that is far removed in the timeline, when, not the Eva timeline, but our physical timeline of when things happen. So when this got released in Japan and the West, this is 2007 at least? Maybe later?
That was volume 11 or 12, right?
Yeah, that was really late. So it's maybe far removed from a lot of Eva stuff in general. Even part of Rebuild, it's far removed from it. So yeah, Sadamoto's willing to go to places and explain things that Anno isn't.
Things.
Yep.
Oh man, if you would have said yup 2 seconds earlier, I would have gone through the entire King of the Hill thing with you.
God damn it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotta talk about that. I gotta count it and shit.
Dang old Kaworu and Shinji. Dang old.
You do that way better than I do. Fuck.
I watch way too much King of the Hill. I don't think you understand.
Apparently
Shinji.
You have.
Whoa! You need to get in the goddamn robot, Shinji. Listen, Shinji. I understand that this is difficult. This is a strange part in your life. But it's important for you to get through it. And we're going to do it together, son. Really, Dad? Of course not. I love it.
That's amazing. I really, really want Ava with King of the Hill voices.
I might have a thing for you. Continue talking. I gotta find something.
By the way, thanks for that other thing you sent me. I needed that.
All right, so where are we at here with the
gay Oh my God, that reminds me of something. Okay, so a good idea that came out of RamenCon, and that is awesome. I'm going to say that. So Sammy, hi Sammy, I know you're listening at some point in the future. Sammy had this great idea of something that she wanted commissioned as a drawing, and it is Shinji dressed as Luke Skywalker, and Kaworu dressed in a Chewbacca Kigurumi,
I have the hiccups.
doing or playing like whatever the equivalent of a piano in the Mos Eisley Cantina. So instead of just gay piano music, we get space gay piano music.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm just throwing out stuff here, but I felt like I needed to share that.
All right, well.
Sammy's the coolest.
Yeah. Well, Sammy also wanted to do one where it's Shinji dressed as Luke, Kaworu and the Kigurumi, and then Asuka as Han, like, just gripping the blaster, trying to not shoot Kaworu. Yes.
Okay, then.
Yep.
All right, so we've explored the theories, and Iowa, you and Kamal explained the manga position on this.
That's what we're here for.
Anybody have any other thoughts on this they'd like to get out?
Should we talk about Rebuild 3?
Ooh.
We could touch on it a little bit if you'd like.
Honestly, that's been out so long. I think we just need to at this point. And
all right,
you know, if 3.0 ever makes it to DVD in this friggin' country, yay. If not, well, it's what the internet's for. Anyways, so yeah, we should discuss 3.0.
Yeah, actually, is it part of the? It's not part of that Blu-ray box set, is it?
Nope.
Okay, just making sure.
I know. I wish it was, but it's not. Also, that doesn't have English subtitles, so.
All right. Well, anyway, Kamal, you brought this up. What specifically did you want to touch on?
Oh, I don't know. It's just he's there.
Well, the main focus of 3.0 is Shinji and Kaworu. In general, like, it goes far more into like their interactions,
right?
But you get the same kind of feeling that Shinji is looking for attention, and there it is.
Yeah, I think it's this idea, like what we were talking about with the original series, that like no one gives him the attention that he wants, and then Kaworu shows up and gives him everything he asks for. In 3.0, everyone else literally hates him, and Kaworu is the only one who gives him affection. So it's sort of an amplified version of that. Not
to mention, they're in a partially destroyed nerve. As far as I can tell, there are only 4 people in that entire goddamn building, between Shinji, Kaworu, Fuyutsuki, and, like, really old Gendo.
And Q-Ray.
Oh, that's right, I forgot.
Everybody forgets about Q-Ray.
Because she's there for, like, she doesn't get enough screen time.
Yeah, Q-Ray kind of, she's there, then she's not there, and then she's there.
Yeah, it's like, it's an injustice to her, honestly, because, like...
That's one of my favorite scenes, is with Shinji and Q-Ray, when he's, like, trying to get her to remember.
Oh, yeah.
With the books.
And that's another thing, it's like, Shinji and Rei had this, like, honest, like, good relationship going, like, in 2, and then it's just, like, in 3, it's gone.
Well, because it's not the same Rei.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Shinji, because it's just another thing that's taken away from him. So all he gets for comfort and anything that's stabilizing is like Kaworu, and I just feel I feel so bad for Shinji. Like, the more I analyze that poor kid's life, like, the worse I feel for him, because it's like he doesn't get a goddamn break ever. He really doesn't.
And then he screws something up, and we're like, oh yeah, Shinji. Like, like at the end of 3, when it's
true.
Hold on.
Shinji, don't do the thing. Kaworu, I'm gonna do the thing.
Goddamn, you did the thing.
Shinji wouldn't have done the thing to begin with if Kaworu hadn't coerced him into doing it.
Yeah, but then he asked him to stop.
Yeah,
but the fact is he asked him to do it in the first place.
And
Kaworu put him in the position to make it happen. Whether or not, Shinji actively chose to ignore him at the end doesn't matter. The fact is, had Kaworu not coerced him in the first place, he would not have been in that position at all. He wouldn't have to make that decision.
I guess?
Shinji, no. Shinji, yes.
Shinji, maybe. What, maybe?
Well, okay. If Kaworu doesn't, if Kaworu does not make Shinji feel like he can trust him, then Shinji doesn't go through with all this. It doesn't bring about, the rest of Third Impact. Or Fourth Impact, or whatever the hell Impact.
Or whatever the hell happens at the
next Impact.
Next time on Impact.
Ah!
No, not Dragon Ball Z! God damn it.
Right, but you got the idea here. It's, had Kaworu just basically forced Shinji... and here's the thing, in that relationship in the Rebuild series, I was a little bit more, of Kaworu actively trying to get Shinji to do something.
little bit more. It's a lot more.
In comparison to like the original series.
Oh, in comparison to the original series, it's a lot more.
Exactly.
Like it is hot just yaois sell anime, so
yeah. God,
they do. Like
yeah, true.
Well, I'm sure.
No, I mean they're right. Like, let's just be honest. They're completely correct on this one.
Well,
and a completely unrelated question. So, which time does Kaworu dying? Like, which one's worse? Like, original series or 3.0?
What do you mean by worse?
In terms of emotional impact, or in terms of
let's go. Like, which for Shinji, which one was worse? Like
Rebuild or original series?
Original series by far.
Original series.
Okay.
So you had to physically do it.
Yeah, Shinji has to
do it.
Do it.
Like Shinji had to make the active decision to do it, whereas in 3.0, Kaworu took it upon himself.
Yeah, and in an original series, it ties into Kaworu being the angel of free will, like, just so perfectly, because there is no that is completely on Shinji to choose which path is he going to take. Does he kill Kaworu and save in quotation marks, everything, or does he let Kaworu do what he's going to do, which, given what Kaworu figures out about Lilith in the basement, that he may not do what he had originally set out to do. So
yeah, but again, I do feel it's more impactful in the original series because I feel that there was more of a connection there.
Yeah,
granted, it was only an episode of the series, but there was the time span led to there being more of a connection.
Well, in the manga, it's the same way. So
right. So it's definitely a more impactful, more meaningful situation in the original series.
But that makes me wonder, like, if we ever get 4.0, what kind of effect is Kaworu passing? Like, what is that going to have on Shinji? Like, I want them to flesh that out a little bit more.
Yeah, see, like, that's something I worry about a little bit potentially with 4.0, is they might just completely drop the fact.
Oh, there's a lot of things that they could do with 4.0 that would, gloss over something that got introduced or talked about earlier, but,
Yeah, but again, this is Zana when he hates us,
No kidding.
So, but
Man, imagine if Anno had started Rebuild with 3.0 and just went from there. Wouldn't have that been a great idea?
Well,
hint, hint, wink, wink. Discuss this.
All right.
That was kind of a thing. That was kind of a thing me and Nico talked about at Ramen Con. So
yeah, we talked about that for a long time
because it was an interesting idea. Like, spoiler alert for you, George. What would have happened if Anno had started with 3.0 instead of 1.0 and made 3.0 the first 1.0?
Well, that means we don't have 2.0,
and I'm okay with that.
I'm not okay with that.
Here's the thing. Mari is still there, and we can actually flesh out Mari as a character.
We can flesh out Mari, we can flesh out the whole crew.
We can flesh out a lot of stuff, and Anno can do a better job telling what's going on. Anno can explain what the fuck happened, before.
I need to know more about Pitbull and Nicki Minaj.
What?
The characters, the ones that took over for Aoba and Maya.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh! I was wondering where you were going with that.
Aoba.
Okay. Yeah.
They look like
we can flesh out Mari and Toji's sister, and just everybody. Things can get explained better. We have more time.
Yeah, I think the problem was that it started off as a retelling of the series, and then they were like, you know what, we want to make this something more than that. So then it sort of, at 2, started to branch off, intentionally.
Yeah. Well,
and they just didn't leave themselves enough time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think what happened is they took a look at what was going to happen in the Sadamoto manga and said, we need to tie into that in some way just to kind of link this to something, because otherwise, if we just do a full retelling, no one's going to watch this.
I don't agree with that. I think people would have watched it. I think doing a complete and full retelling and making it completely different, I think that would have worked well. I really do.
See, but here's why, and I disagree with you only because I've talked firsthand to fans, and a lot of them said, after 1.0, they're like, if this is what the whole thing's going to be, I don't have a reason to watch this.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. 1.0 in, 3.0 becomes 1.0. There is no 1.0 or 2.0 as we know them in, the way that, Nico and I were explaining it. 3.0 is the beginning, and then you can use 2, 3, and 4 to not only go forwards, but also to go backwards if you need to at certain points, and make sense of things. Because right now, nothing fucking makes sense. We had 1.0, which basically redid nothing, 2.0, which is kind of turning into a hot mess, and then 14-year skip, and 3.0, it's like, where the fuck are we going? Is there a bus that runs through here?
Well,
I'm confident in 4.
I'm not.
I think
I'm scared but excited, nervous
for it is because it's honestly just based on the title. 3.0 plus 1.0.
3.0 plus 1.0?
Yeah, I'm confident that he has a plan to tie it in based on
I want to believe, I can't.
See, that whole title leads me to believe that at some point this is going to lead into a reboot of the original series.
Because Anno hates us and loves our money.
Imagine if you're sitting in the credits roll and it's over and you're sitting there and you're like, finally. And then it's like the end of the Love Live series. It's just like, whoa, we just got a text message. Whoa, it's super important. Whoa. And they're like, movie or series reboot. And
yeah,
you are. I'm gonna.
It's like the ride never ends, Mr. Bones.
I mean, listen. There's two possibilities I see happening with this. One is the aforementioned meeting of the Shinjis that I've always said about, and the other is the full reboot of the original series. With better technology, animation, and mostly mentally healthy Anno.
I'll tell you what. When 4.0 happens, and I'm going to watch it for the very first time, I will let the known universe know. And you know why I will let you know?
Because you'll be swearing your head off?
Because if you hear an extremely loud fuck, a prolonged loud fuck coming from Iowa, you know it's me, and you know why.
Well, now to be fair, what if this quote-unquote rebooted series is really just the anime adaptation of the Sadamoto manga?
Then fucking say that right off the bat. Do not make me wait and try to figure that out.
See,
just say it straight off the bat, and then I'll be like, okay, I will give this a chance, and then it is better be goddamn faithful, or otherwise I quit.
All right, fair enough.
Because if they friggin' do an anime series of Eva, of the manga, and they do not do the ending that I get from Volume 14, oh, there will be much hatred, and there will be much finding of Anno's place, and there will be much eggs thrown at his house.
All right. So anyway,
which is a joke. We have no actual intent on harming Mr. Anno.
I've never seen an egg before in my life.
Why do you think I said eggs?
What is an egg? What's an egg? Where's Japan?
What's a Dragon Ball?
What's a plane?
What's a person? Anno?
Probably a good
what is a man? What is a man? A miserable pile of secrets.
Great. Now we're gonna reference that. Really?
Yep.
What is
Really? Okay.
Anyway,
I can't read.
And I'm sure Asuka may be going, what the hell are those two old men talking about now?
There's a Belmont in the house.
God damn it.
Anyway. Actually, hey, I just remembered there's something more we have to talk about, and we kind of forgot to mention it.
What?
Animator Expo.
Oh yeah, there's more things, aren't there?
So good. The whole thing is so good.
I haven't watched this new short.
Yes.
Yet. That's Ava related.
So for those who don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I didn't watch the Ava one. I watched the one with the blue hair. I don't.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either. We should talk about that in the next one.
Yeah, let's talk about the next one.
Yeah, you know what? We'll talk about the next one. But for everybody, who wants to get kind of caught up to when we're what we're talking about for the next one. The thing you're looking for is called Neon Genesis Evangelion Impacts.
Wow, great. Nice job, naming committee.
Great job. There's a reason why it's called that, and you have to watch.
I'm sure there is.
You have to watch the short to find out. Just be prepared. It's a little different animation style than you're probably used to for this.
Is it better than the Sausage Fingers, Ava?
If you like CGI, I guess.
Well, yeah, I can deal with CGI. I mean, it probably looks better than what I.
It's a goofy kind of CGI. Like
I'll be fine.
I don't know how to describe it honestly. It's not like
I'll be fine.
I mean, we're not talking like I'm trying to think of a really shitty example. We're not talking like that early '90s, CGI that looks like crap. No, we're talking. It looks pretty fluid animation. It's just there's like this unsettling feeling of just computer generation.
Uncanny Valley.
Not Uncanny Valley. It's just a weird. It just you kind of like you're bouncing back and forth. Is it not? And it is, but it's not bad.
So it's like Love Live.
I've never seen Love Live. I couldn't tell you.
Ruby, maybe?
Yeah, I think, a little bit like Ruby, but not as poorly drawn.
What was the new one called? I'm trying to find it.
It's called Evangelion Impacts. I could probably go find the link. You know what? I'll get the link.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So, cool. With the three girls.
Oh, that's really funny. I just Googled it, and I got the Anime News Network thing. And the headline is 32nd Animator Expo short is Neon Genesis Impact. Love Live character designer and CGI director work on Evangelion spinoff.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it is literally the engine that Love Live uses.
Okay, well, there you go. I didn't know. I've never seen Love Live, so.
God damn it, you got your Love Live in my Evangelion!
I'm so fucking excited. That would make me so happy.
Someone go tell Nico.
Hawker's getting a robot.
So is that going to be the next TV series? It's Love Life Meets Ava?
Based on what happens during that thing, I can honestly say no. Anyway.
And the proms tomorrow.
Yeah. Anywho, let's wrap this thing up. So guys, next time we'll talk about Evangelion Impacts. We'll talk about anything else we decide to come up with, between now and then. We'll try to get back on a normal schedule, and we will get our recordings out as timely and as regularly as possible. But thank you guys for sticking with us through all this. We thank you for that, and we'll keep you updated on any future developments, convention-wise, special project-wise, whatever. All right. So anyway. For the Dummy Plug Podcast, I'm Gainer79. On behalf of General Iowa, Unit 2, and actually Asuka, we thank you for listening. So thank you, and good night.
I still didn't agree to any of this.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.